Kevin, Ralph's law of off-season rules strikes again. Any big Saints off-season news after the draft is usually bad. That is written law. It is scripture. It never fails. Thomas, hit that intro.
Welcome to the award-winning Saints Happy Hour podcast. Seriously, this podcast has won awards. American standards are dropping every day. The show features Ralph, the best host in the world, who can barely pronounce his own name, much less anyone else's.
Marcus Callaway.
Dave is that dude who loves taking bathroom breaks. He's mad about almost anything, so make sure to lower your volume when he speaks.
Put that freaking clown meme back up that I made. Jesus Christ.
Andrew has sources, watches tapes, and knows football. He rarely shows up on time and wants to commit crimes to help the Saints win.
Sean Payton would have done illegal things. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because you know it's true.
Oh, and there's also Kevin, who is great at doing mock drafts, but struggles to actually watch Saints games or have a functioning relationship.
Budrich wants to know how the doctor's doing.
That ended.
Anyway, grab a drink, sit back, and enjoy the insanity.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. We got Meachem behind the scenes, by the way. I'm Ralph Marlborough. I'm joined by Kevin.
Hello.
Dave was with us, and then he wasn't. Maybe he'll be back. Kevin's eating dinner. Andrew's going to be, he's so late, he told us, he was like, I'll get here when I'm here. So Andrew will be here eventually. I see a bunch of people in the chat that were nice enough to show up on time. Your boy Alan, Andrew's dad, showed up on time as always. Thank you, Mr. Juge. Noel Alfredo, Jason Champagne, Jerry, amazing. Jason Champagne, I just said. So we got a bunch of people in the chat. Thanks, guys, for joining us. On tonight's show, Alvin Kamara, he just walked out of minicamp, Kevin, like a jilted lover. He just walked up and left. Juwan Johnson was hurt. Taysom Hill's contract got redone out of the blue by Mickey Loomis. What's that about? Plus, round one of our greatest Saints one-hit wonder bracket begins. We're going to take your questions. It's going to be a great show. Before we start, remember to subscribe to Saints Happy Hour wherever you get your podcast. I also have to mention about our MVP contest. If we reach $100 in donations tonight, the MVP will choose which minibar bottle from my gigantic minibar booze collection I'm going to poison myself with tonight's bottles. Thomas, Blanco Ghost Spicy. I don't know what this is, but it's 40% by volume. And then PB&J whiskey, peanut butter and raspberry jelly. It's 70 proof and it looks kind of gross.
Christ, man, come on.
Those back to back could get dangerous. Consider if you want me to drink both of these. I do. Consider donating via Stream Elements by typing in !donate in the chat and click the link that appears. Twitch takes about 50% cut. This way when you donate using business, this way you spend less money. It's easier to get me drunk. It's a win-win. Even Andrew could do it. He would explain it if he was here, but he's not, so he can't. The next MVP prize is our best one. The MVP winner from each week get entered into the drawing, and they win a chance to go to a Saints home game with me. That's right. You, me, section 641, watching Derek Carr, Dennis Allen. It's going to be great. And remember, text-to-speech donations, best $20 you can spend. Thomas, we got an MVP leader already?
No donations so far. Last week, AJ Rochelle won with 78 buckaroos, and we are on a 45-week donation streak, by the way.
By the way, I want to say, AJ Rochelle, he didn't send us in a whiteboard request, but if you do, AJ, and you're listening to this or hop in the live chat and you want to do it, we'll fit you in, of course. But I wrote, what's Loomis got cooking? Because we'll discuss that in a minute.
Yeah, I was about to say, why did it look like it was all smudged off? Because everything else looked dark and clear. Like, I couldn't tell those were eyeballs until we cut to you, the one shot of you.
Yeah, it's the eyeball idea by me. I was trying to do the looking eyes. It didn't come off well. So I'm drinking summer shandy plus maybe the 2 shots if we get to $100 and we get that winning streak to 46 weeks. Come on, people, let's get it done. Kevin, what are you drinking? Or are you just eating?
I'm only eating. I'm eating my Just Bear spicy chicken patty.
There's Dave.
There's Juge's head blocking this.
Thanks, Aldi Maria, for 5 buckaroos.
Threw these in the oven. Got some olive oil and some various seasonings on there. When I'm done with this, I've got some rice that I've got in the fridge that I've got to throw in here because I have to get my carb intake up.
Oh, carbs.
Yeah,
good
carbs.
Good sugar.
I've been told by my trainer I have to eat near well over 300 grams of carbs per day. I don't even get close to that. But the last 2 days I've gotten well over 200, and she said that's fine.
You just stuffing your face with like pasta?
Well, she said I have to be smart about what I'm eating because I have to keep my fat under 80 grams a day.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the rub.
Dave, what are you drinking?
You have a female doctor. It's like that
Female
old
trainer.
It's like that old riddle.
Doctor.
The doctor is my mother.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Dave?
I am drinking the usual Spindle Tap, Heavy Hands. I just love it so. I don't know if now is the time to talk about this. Probably is, since it doesn't have to do with anything else. But I was in Boise.
Oh yeah, how was the
Idaho.
1,200 square foot shop convention?
Because I'm a small 2,000 square foot. I was in Boise, Idaho, and I stopped by a Pro Image store that was also a Boise State store. They're the only, I think it's Pro Image. They're like a mall.
Hold it
chain
more.
or
Hold it in
whatever.
front of your face that people gotta see it.
Anyway,
there you
this
go.
Was on sale. This was on sale, $9.99. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna buy it." I figure we can give this away.
Wait, at the live show.
There's no Saints. It's only NFLPA license, so it's specific just to Michael Thomas and doesn't say anything about the Saints.
Wow.
On it, so,
Bud Rich, I'm gonna need you to come up with a banger trivia question for the live show. We'll give that thing away.
banger
Trivia question.
Bangarang Rufio.
So, and by the way, I want to thank Philip and Dustin. They saw me. They said nice things. I was flying home from New Orleans yesterday. Philip and Dustin.
You were in New Orleans yesterday?
Yeah, I was in New Orleans over the weekend. Family stuff. We're getting my mom moved into assisted living, and we're taking care of that. Philip and Dustin, they were nice enough to say hello. They're big fans of the show. I'm sorry, I was on no sleep. They were very nice to me.
No, you were rude to them.
I wasn't rude. I was not rude. I was just they could tell that I was haggard, and I had Max with me. They were nice though. Thank you guys.
Maybe this is better for off air. Where did you move your mother to? Is she someplace?
Yeah,
you got her in a top notch place.
We got her in the best of the best. Don's retirement living. It's
Slash seafood hut.
It's a Winnebago in Chalmette. It's the best of the best. Only the best.
Yeah, Dave. Listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna send you down there. We want you to sample some of the cuisine and come back and rate it all for us. Okay?
That's right.
Well, I didn't know if she was in Lambeth House. That's some nice stuff right over there.
Yeah.
Lambeth House is nice. I think that's where Tom Dempsey was.
Oh wow.
In his later.
Only the best for my mom. It was great. It was great seeing my family, and it's always nice to see the patrons when they say hello in the airport. I feel blessed.
Even when you're haggard.
Even when I'm haggard and trying to wrestle it, trying to wrangle in an 8-year-old who just inhaled 3 beignets and is rocketing to the moon.
Ralph, your boy Alan asks, when will Diabetes Cat move to assisted living?
Never. My wife will not allow it.
It needs 2 shots a day.
Two shots a day. Minxie, she's gonna outlive us all.
Yeah, she won't, because she'll need someone to give her shots.
That's right.
And if there's nobody around to give her shots,
it'll be her and Keith Richards. It'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of haggard and trying to leave, Alvin Kamara, Dave, he just up and left minicamp. He just up and left.
Very good transition, Ralph. Well done.
That's a great.
Yeah.
So he wants a new deal. It was big news last week, but my thing is this is the weird situation, Dave, where the Saints actually hold all the leverage against Alvin Kamara. Most like Saints players, they've redone them and they do the cap gyrations that like the Saints are kind of like they can't cut them because it's a giant cap hit or whatever, and they're kind of like in a corner and they have to redo them to create cap space or whatever. Alvin Kamara, the Saints, they cut him after this year and designate him post June 1st. They get $25 million of cap space next year. So I feel like Alvin Kamara, you add that in plus running backs in free agency, never, ever, ever get paid anymore. I feel like he has no leverage. I don't know why he just decided to up and leave minicamp and like what he was trying to prove to the Saints. But like from where I'm looking at it, that man has no leverage. I love him. I want him to be a Saint for life. But I'm like, Alvin, what are you doing, my man? Like,
well, I think maybe that last you just made, be a Saint for life. I think maybe that's, I don't know if it's necessarily about the money so much as it is about the term, the length of the contract. I think maybe Alvin, he's 29. I mean, he's once you cross 30 in NFL running back years, that's ancient. I think he's kind of maybe he just wants to just stay here in New Orleans. He wants to feel comfortable. He wants to feel safe that he can be here in New Orleans. He doesn't have to get up and move. And he's got a little stability over the next few years. Maybe more so than, just getting that big paycheck or getting that big payday. Because like you said, you're right. Like, I don't know. I don't know whether the market bears that or not.
Kevin.
Yeah.
When was the last time Alvin Kamara was really good and worth what the Saints paid him?
2 years ago.
Let me pull up that number right now.
I mean, it's been a while.
Not last year, obviously.
That Christmas Day game, Dave, is a long time ago against the Vikings.
I mean, he's never had 1,000-yard rushing season. His closest.
I know, but I don't.
No. And look, I'm not saying if you don't hit 1,000 yards as a rusher, it doesn't mean you're not any good. I'm just saying this simply as a point of content, as a point. 2020, he ran for 932 and 16 rushing touchdowns. And also in 2020, he caught over 83 passes for 756 yards and 5 touchdowns. So he had 21 all-purpose touchdowns. That's the career high.
That's right.
His second best was the 2018 season. 14 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns, 883 rushing, 709 receiving. So basically, since 2020, he has declined. He's had a significant dip in the receiving yards. He went from 756 to 439, 490, and 466.
Ooh.
Last 2 seasons, he's had 2 and 1 receiving touchdowns, respectively. Rushing, he dipped a little bit in 21 and 22, just a little bit, literally like 898, 897. But this past season was the biggest drops to 694. He actually had more rushing touchdowns this past season, 5, than the 21 and the 22 seasons. But when you combine that with the 1 receiving touchdown he had, the production's kind of like, honestly, his worst career year, I would say, is 2022. He only had 4 all-purpose touchdowns.
Well, here's my question though, Dave. To the point of leverage is Derrick Henry ran for almost 1,200 yards for Tennessee Titans last year. He got 2 years, $15 million in free agency from Baltimore. So, like, if Kamara plays this year out and has the best year of his career, I still don't think he's going to get paid. So, like, what's his leverage with the Saints?
He needs to change the position.
What's his leverage with the Saints? I don't know. You've got...
he's a beloved, QB.
But...
Yeah, well, you've got that, but I mean, I guess, I don't know. You've got Clint Kubiak coming in, new offensive coordinator. He's had Christian McCaffrey in the past. Look what he's done with him with the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
He's had Dalvin Cook, I guess, with the Vikings or whatever. Maybe Kamara feels like, look, if you don't have me, you're not going to be able to run the offense that you want to run.
Oh.
Yep, he froze.
He froze. Save that, Thomas. Save that picture of Dave. Save it.
Yeah, combine that with the one you saved of Ralph last week, and then the one you saved of Dave this week.
We can have the all frozen picture. Continue, Dave.
Oh, geez. Was I frozen?
You were.
Yeah, for about 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, I want him to be a Saint for life, Kevin. I'm not emotionally ready to like see him in another uniform. I just look at it and I'm like, if the Saints,
I mean, his contract technically has 2 years on it, but they're like the voidable. It's like BS years. Like he's right.
Yeah.
That's
the last year was always a BS year.
27 are voidable.
Right.
Yeah. Like.
Well, this is his last year of guaranteed.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
That's right. Next year, it's no guarantee. Like the Saints are in this weird.
He just wants secure. I mean, he's just a guy on his final contract. Like I don't think.
Fucking Wi-Fi, man.
Wi-Fi. It's like pre-Thomas days.
Well done, Cox Communications.
It's like pre-Thomas days.
Fiber, Dave.
I feel like for the old heads,
it is the marquee for the last 5 years. I'm sorry, what?
You froze again.
Oh. Well, this is annoying. This is fucking annoying. But anyway, I mean, like the guy is a star running back and a marquee running back for a franchise for the last 5-6 years. And he has no security beyond this year. He just wants he wants something. He just
But here's the thing, Dave.
It's not totally unreasonable.
But it isn't like I mean it's not totally unreasonable, but for him, but like the Saints, if they traded him, they wouldn't get anything for him. If they cut him,
that's not true. Wait, if the Saints, you don't think the Saints could trade Alvin Kamara and get something for it?
Okay, they could get a fifth.
Really?
I think they'd get a fifth. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying he's worth a first round pick, but
they'd be lucky if they'd be lucky.
I was thinking third. I was thinking third.
No way. No, for a 29-year-old running back. No, I just think like he has no leverage. The interesting thing though, Kevin, is
he's on the right side of 30. He's 29. He's on the right side. You know, it's like when you price something at $9.99. He's priced perfectly. He's at 29.
Well, he will be 29 in July.
Kevin, shut the fuck up. He's 29.
Tiger Jet says, I need my Saints content from these wild ass dudes. So get your mic together, Dave.
Thanks, Tiger Jet 21 for subscribing.
Thank you. I was gonna say, Kevin, this is like the opposite of the Michael Thomas situation, where Michael Thomas's Saints like kept him probably like 2 or 3 years too long because it was more advantageous to have him on the roster than not, because once they cut him, it was like this giant cap hit of dead money. So they kept redoing it to where it was kind of beneficial for him and the Saints. But Alvin Kamara has none of that leverage. So my question is, I don't think they would trade him, Dave, because I think they'll get no value from it. But are we?
First of all, he's worth more. First of all, I think he's in good shape. He's not injured. He's not coming off any kind of injury.
Looked fantastic in minicamp the day he was there.
Well,
before he left.
I don't really give a shit about minicamp, but I mean, like, he's 29. He's on the right side of 30. I'm not going to say he's in the prime, but he's ready to go. Like he can be your guy. He can be your number one guy in your offense. Like that's exciting to me. I don't know why you.
No, I think in the end, Kevin, I think in the end, what's going to happen is the Saints are going to sign him to like a 2-year extension. And it's going to be,
he deserves some.
It'll be like 2 years between like $11 and $15 million, and he'll get like $7 or $8 million guaranteed. But it'll really be like a 1-year extension for next year. He'll get a little bit of guaranteed money for next year, because I just don't see Alvin Kamara getting a really nice payday in free agency next March, no matter how good he is. Like who's paying a 29-year-old running back? When has that ever happened in an NFL free agent? Can anybody in the chat think of any running back that was like 29 and got like paid in free agency?
Maybe Kevin's favorite.
Kevin will look like mate. I don't know. I can't think. Maybe
look that up.
Maybe Curtis Martin. I don't know.
That's a Bud Rich question.
It's a Bud. Yeah. But Dave, I thought the more interesting move that the Saints did, and we'll get to Juwan Johnson's foot injury in a second, but I thought the more interesting move that the Saints did that got overshadowed by Alvin Kamara walking out of minicamp like a diva was the Saints redid Taysom Hill's contract and created a bunch of cap space that they don't really need. Like usually this time of year, if the Saints would create cap space, it would be like, well, they need cap space because they need to sign their draft picks, or you need $5 million of cap space during the year to like do moves. But the Saints had $5 million of cap space. So they created a bunch of space, and now they created like $6 million of space with Taysom. Now they have like $11.7 million in cap space, and they didn't need it. And Kamara and Taysom, if they would have cut them and designate them June 1st cuts next year, would have created a ton of cap space between them. So I look at this move, and that's why I wrote on the whiteboard here that I tried to do the looking eyes with Loomis, but I did a poor job. Is they got to be cooking up some kind of.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. Not Max, but it sounded like a baby. They're cooking up some kind of move, Dave, right? Loomis, he's cooking up something.
Kevin Jr. on the way. Kevin Jr. on the way. I thought it was for Kamara. I mean, that's kind of what I.
You think? Oh, they're creating the extension for Kamara?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't think it's for. I mean, who else would it be? Lattimore? Do we need to do something?
They created enough space. The Taysom move did create enough cap space that if they traded Lattimore, they would have enough cap space to absorb his $10 point something million hit.
I mean, if they're going after somebody outside of the organization, obviously I would have no clue, so I wouldn't even begin to speculate. So I'm gonna
Justin Simmons, give me Justin Simmons at safety. Kevin, I mean, not like Dave, you don't have to give a player name like me. I'm Justin Simmons obsessed, but Loomis didn't have to do this is all I'm saying. So that's why it got my ears burning, you know?
Yeah.
So why is what I'm
Call them Dave! For fuck's sake, man.
Chicken, what is it?
Chicken.
The Chicken Run. Mel Gibson. So what do you think, Kevin? I mean, if the Saints were cooking up a move, what would you want it to be? And by the way, we were only at $15. The streak may die tonight, people. You got to get on that.
Oh boy,
come on.
Oh my God. By the way, what's going on with hashtag birthday suite? What's going on with birthday suite? How are we looking?
What's up with Andrew? Where is he?
I don't know.
Don't worry about him. We don't need him to make money.
That's right.
We make more money without him. We make more money without him.
Yeah, we're sitting at $15 here.
The sun never sets on the Juge Empire.
Kevin, lift your shirt up a little bit. Maybe show a little nipple.
Nip.
Oh man,
show some skin, brother. Look. You see how white this is.
Oh, people would leave.
It's whiter. Oh my God. Here's the thing I want to tell this.
Also, potential guest here.
Dave, remove your hat.
Greg Rosenthal. Come on. I'm wearing Greg Rosenthal's podcast, the Jesselnick and Rosenthal Vanity Project. I'm wearing his shirt on my podcast.
He should come on our podcast.
Yes. And I'm also wearing the Tulane hat. Roll wave. Yeah. Come on, Greg.
Yeah. Get on the podcast.
I will get him.
So I was going to say, patrons, be on the lookout. We are going to do a special custom sticker set. Thank you for current and future annual patrons, where you guys get to vote on what custom stickers you want us to make. It'll be amazing. You should be on the lookout for that. But Kevin, I just like I can't ever remember the Saints doing a deal like Taysom's where they create cap space for no reason. Like they don't do that. Like so, it's got my ears burning. They're scheming. They're scheming.
I get it, and I agree with you that this has to mean something. Like like the Brian Windhorst fingers. Like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? But unlike Brian Windhorst, I don't know what's going on.
Should we get fake Rob Ryan to do intro to the show from 2013?
Barrish, 20 buckaroos, the new MVP leader. We are 35%.
35. Yeah.
So, but my point is, I don't know anything about, they're making cap room they're making cap room to bring somebody in, or they're going to redo somebody's contract. I don't know anything like that.
I mean, I
know it's a boring answer, but it's like
if they signed David Bakhtiari, I wouldn't hate it. If they signed Justin Simmons, I wouldn't hate it. To me, the Saints went all off season where they spent no money, right? And they spent no money, and they held off redoing Kamara and redoing Taysom. And people were like, those are the contracts where they can get a decent chunk of change from both of them.
Is David Bakhtiari a free agent?
He is. Injured, plays tackle. He's injured all the time, but left tackle. But when he's healthy, he's really good.
Oh, that's exactly that's gonna cure what ails us is a tackle that's injured all the time, but when he's healthy, he's good. That's fucking exactly what we need. Boy, just what the doctor ordered, Ralph.
But I mean, I'd rather, if you gave me a choice between rolling the dice on Bakhtiari.
Never heard that one, right, Dave?
Or Penning, I'd roll the dice on Bakhtiari.
I'm not even sure what the goddamn difference is.
Come on.
He's good at chugging beer, though.
He is. He would be a guest on this podcast.
Yeah.
David, come on the show. But it's strange to me that the Saints went all off season not redoing the two contracts that everybody thought they would redo to create space. They didn't do it, and then they redo Taysom out of the blue for no apparent reason at all. I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense. And Loomis isn't the kind of guy to just give people money, which when he redoes it, he guarantees it for Taysom and it's Gale's. I'm just saying something is afoot, Kevin Held. Something is afoot.
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Could you potentially look at Donovan Smith?
Ooh, you could.
I mean, he's a left tackle. He's a left tackle coming off Super Bowl champion Chiefs. He's supposed to be a free agent.
He is.
Wait a minute. I know what this is about. They got to be freeing up money to give James Hurst an extension.
Yeah.
Come back, James. Come
James
on
Hurst
back.
Extension, right?
That's
right.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's starting and we don't want to lose him. Right?
What would be the most reckless way to spend their $11.6 million in cap space?
Hookers and blow.
I mean, signing an offensive lineman that is frequently injured.
Look at that donation
goal. Maybe
they never let us down.
Taysom in the shower and said, "Pay that man his money."
Your boy Allen, 28.3.
Thank you, Allen.
The new MVP leader.
Dove says, sad that Penning and Jamal Williams will both make this roster. We're in double trouble. Don't say anything bad about Jamal Williams. My wife saw on Facebook that Jamal Williams got a cat, and the cat is relaxing him and makes him happy when he goes home after practice. So now she's all in. I might have to get her
relaxing,
a Jamal.
You say?
Yeah, I might have to get her a Jamal Williams jersey.
What kind of relaxing?
I don't know. I don't know. I have 4 cats in my house. They don't relax me at all, Thomas.
That's fucking illegal.
I can't speak. I can't speak to the relaxation powers of cats.
Session.
Tiger Jet says if the Saints win more than 9 games this season, they will have a 1,000-yard rusher. Carr is not the answer to the team defense and run game. It is. Here's a question, Kevin. Here's a question. As we look at the Saints redoing Taysom and Kamara and Juwan Johnson, you and me, we mostly, as you like to say on Friday, we're just vibes and jokes. Is what we do, right?
Right.
I gotta say, when you add in the Juwan Johnson injury, the Tanow Passanyow, if Andrew was here, he would connect. Passanyo or Passanyow? I don't know. If Andrew was here, he would correct me. Those 2 guys getting hurt, like the vibes for the Saints heading into camp, Kevin, not great. Not great.
No. Oh, that's an interception! Matt Ryan!
Will Cam Jordan be stalking Matt Ryan during the Ring of Honor ceremony just to sack him?
Buzz with 20 buckaroos retaking his MVP lead.
Yes.
$83.30. We are $16.70 away.
Budrich must be settled into his new job.
That's good.
I appreciate you, Budrich.
Thank you.
Is Arthur Blank putting himself in the Ring of Honor? Is that the most self-serving douchebag thing you can do when you haven't won a Super Bowl? At least Tom Benson waited until he won a Super Bowl to start building statues and putting himself in the Ring of Honor. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, the Falcons. Yeah, shit.
They put it's like Dave. It's like giving yourself the Presidential Medal of Freedom. You know?
That's whack.
Did we
talk? I missed the show last week. Did we talk about, or are we going to talk about this week the punishment for the Kirk Cousins tampering?
Oh yeah, lame. There's no law and order in America anymore. Lame. The Saints got a bigger penalty celebrating in the locker room during COVID.
That's right.
They did.
Oh, they did? Hang on, let me look that up just to be so I've got it.
Like the Saints got fined, I want to say like $500,000, and they got taken away a fifth. So it was more money that the Saints got fined. So man.
Let's see. I'm on NFL.com. The Saints and the Patriots were fined for violating COVID-19 protocol violations. The Saints were fined $500,000, docked a 7th-round pick.
Seventh, sorry.
And the Patriots were fined $350,000. However, let's see.
Thank you for fact-checking our host, Kevin.
It felt like a fifth. I hate Goodell so much, it felt like a 5th-round pick.
Our bullshitting host.
The Saints, however, earlier in the season, the league fined the Saints the Saints and the Raiders were each fined $250,000, and coaches Sean Payton and John Gruden were also each fined $100,000 for failure to wear proper face covering during their Week 2 game on Monday.
$1 million in fines, man.
Anyway,
$1 million.
I feel like maybe we should be fact checking Ralph more often. Actually, now.
Well, no, I'm
interception. Matt Ryan.
We're streaking.
Who not go for? Tell the rules.
What are we gonna drink? Who that golf? Are we gonna drink the PB&J whiskey?
No.
Peanut butter and raspberry jelly? Or are we going to drink the Ghost Pepper Blanco spicy?
Ghost pepper.
Blanco.
Actually, it's fitting that Hudak Golf. It's fitting. Hudak Golfer can say something in the chat if he wants to, but I'm voting for the Ghost Pepper. And it's fitting that Hudak Golfer is the one that put us over the edge here, because I was actually going to mention, we were talking about the Falcons. We had an epic in golf. I know that I know you guys aren't golf fans, but there are a lot of golf fans out there. and we had an epic U.S. Open finish, and we had Rory McIlroy, who basically it was the equivalent of the Falcons blowing a 28-3 lead. He missed. He missed 2 short putts on 16 and 18, and like the Patriots, Bryson DeChambeau, he had to play well. He had to come through when it mattered, and he did. But Rory left the door open. And it was very. I got a lot of Atlanta Falcons 28-3 vibes watching the U.S. Open this past weekend. But it was awesome. It was
poor Rory. He had John Vandervelde type vibes. Going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't hitting shots from the water, but it was definitely. But America, in the end, America always wins. It's bottom line. just saying.
True.
Just shut up and drink. Come on, man.
All right, so we're gonna drink this. Ooh, that is strong.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Wait for him to get the camera on you.
This is strong.
One box.
I mean, I never do. I never do, Kevin.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
All right.
We need to see your reactions too, guys. Oh. Eyes back. Oh.
Ooh. That sounds like a Peter North tape.
I mean, there was no way we're gonna let you drink a peanut butter and whiskey. Like, that sounds like something you would very much enjoy.
Your boy Alan says he might finally do it. Oh, Ralph. Where's the puke bucket, Ralph? Show the puke bucket.
And it's right here.
Oh, it's a 10?
It's a 10, man.
A 10
honestly,
with a puke?
Honestly, don't donate anymore, because I don't want him to be able to wash it down with a better whiskey. I want him to just marinate in this one for a while.
I mean, that was brutal, because it we've had some before, I think, that had been like spicy pepper, but that one was like really spicy. Like, my chest burns like gonorrhea on a cheap whore. You know what? Like Kevin, I know a couple weeks back you had to do a bathroom situation and like you destroyed a bathroom during the show. That might be me this week. This one is like went straight down, and it's like gurgling in the stomach, and washing it down with a summer shandy.
Dave, are you muted?
Oh yeah, I am muted. I think Kevin's bathroom situation was literally last week, because that was the one thing I missed.
That was fucking epic, man.
And I need to go back and listen, because
that was a winning show.
Budridge says you'll be shitting fire. I might be like, I could be like one of the superheroes on The Boys. I could be like Shit Man, where I like crap fire at people.
Shit Man. That would be a good The Boys superhero, by the way. Shit, man.
Tomas is easily wowed by goofball American
poop joke. Well, I mean, Europeans, Kevin, they love poop jokes. All Europeans, all Europeans east of Germany love poop jokes. I mean, that's a fact.
What? Why is that? What?
It's true, man. And a woman, she took a dump on Germany's America's Got Talent, or Germans Got Talent, and she won. She took a giant dump. Look it up on Twitter.
I love how he was going to describe it as Germany's America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What? Stop.
Jesus Christ.
She just took a dump and she won.
Like your cat.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about this one. I saw it on the Twitters. Thomas, give the people a donation update quick, even though we just reached the goal. Give them a quick update.
Hope I'm not missing anyone. Butters is in the lead with 40 buckaroos. Your boy on second place, third place. Without goal. Also thanks to Ali Marino and Tiger Jet for donating. Reaching the goal. We are on a 46-week streak now.
Yes.
All right. So
fucking sweet.
Did you know that the name of Germany's Got Talent is Das Super Talent?
Those fucking Germans.
In Poland, it's Mantalent.
Montana. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and look up. I'm gonna see if I can find this the poop lady on any of the previous seasons here.
Is David Hasselhoff the host? Please tell me he is.
No, David Hasselhoff is not on the German show.
David Hasselhoff, Dirk Nowitzki, and
Dirk Nowitzki.
and
thus proving Germans love David Hasselhoff.
They do.
No
Dirk show.
No Hasselhoff.
So, Dave, I'm kind of
don't hassle the Hoff.
I gotta say, like Juwan Johnson hurting his foot. It's. I know they said he's going to be out a while.
He's a dud. He's a bust. Stop talking about him. Stop.
I feel like tight end's kind of weak
your hopes
now.
on him. Stop.
They need him when he plays.
He's a UDFA. Come on, man.
When he plays, Kevin, they were good last year. It was part of like Carr's resurgence.
Foster Moreau is going to revolutionise the tight end position.
You play golf with one, like if you play golf with any Saints player, you're like they're amazing. Who would you, if you could play golf with one Saints player on the current roster, who would you not play with?
No. Who's your foursome? So it's you and three guys. It's you and three others. It's you and three other players.
Me and three other Saints players.
Yeah,
I get. No, it's really two because he wants Mickey Loomis in the foursome.
No, it's got to be three.
Got to be players.
No, yeah, no, because then the player, because then they're all going to act straight and not cool in front of Mickey. Cam Jordan,
yeah.
AK.
Oh yeah.
And maybe Taysom. The four of us.
Here's my question to you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson injury. I know Jimmy Graham kind of said his goodbye, but not really, but it really was kind of like a goodbye. And then he went and rode across the Atlantic Ocean or whatever. Run it back with Jimmy Graham one more time?
Wait, are you telling me you're not excited for the three-headed monster of Taysom Hill, Foster Moreau, and Jesper Horsted?
No, I'm not. They got that UDFA tight end that everybody's excited about. He might be the number one pick now.
Yeah, where the hell? Yeah,
they paid him like
on the Saints.
They paid him like $200,000. They paid him like $200,000. Somebody in the chat will know the name. Hooker.
Oh yeah, Dallin Hooker. Colorado State.
I mean, everybody loves a hooker. Just saying.
I mean, well, there's also apparently Michael Jacobson is on the team.
He looked good at minicamp. I saw lots of tweets. He was catching passes, looking fantastic.
He's
making plays.
6'7".
Wow.
He's 6'7".
Hulker. Bundard says he's Hulker, not Hooker.
Oh, sorry, Dallin Holker. Yeah, but Dallin Holker is 6'3". Jesper Horsted, 6'3". Tommy Hudson, 6'5". Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau are 6'4". Yeah.
Look, my point still stands is if you're relying on Juwan Johnson, then you've got a problem. If you don't think Foster Moreau and all these other guys and Hooker and all these other guys are adequate backups, then you need to go get somebody else because sorry, Juwan Johnson is he's a 4-game to 6-game a season guy. Apparently, that's what this is.
Somebody in the chat said that
these are the vibes I'm getting from JJ, as I like to call him.
Here's a question. Off topic. My wife asked me this. Justin Timberlake, he got busted for DWI
on Long Island, by the way. My home community of Long Island, but he was out in the Hamptons.
He said he had one drink and he looked ripped to the tits in that mugshot.
I just saw a headline on my phone that said there were all kinds of stuff in it.
Yeah, he had all kinds of stuff, including an HIV antiviral,
including Malort.
But do you think I could outdrink Justin Timberlake if he's being honest and he just had one
easy,
drink.
come on,
yes,
man.
I do. Yes, I do.
You're a professional, Rob.
Yes,
come on, man.
I do, and I challenge Justin Timberlake to come on this podcast
and see if he can have
and
a drink
and go head to head. And go mini bottle to mini bottle against you.
It's gonna be my lord.
Let me. Yeah, it would basically be like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where you meet Mary and Ralph would be Mary, and she's just down in these shots of God only knows whatever Himalayan moonshine, and that other person across from her would be Justin Timberlake, and Timberlake would fall over on his ass. You have to get a couple of Sherpas to carry him out.
Himalayan moonshine, is that a real thing? Did I have that?
I don't know.
So
someone
we gotta
needs to send it to you.
Thomas, you were right. You said this show is going to go on forever, and you were correct because we're at 8:52, and we haven't even got to the world famous Saints Happy Hour bracket.
Fucking
Thomas,
insane,
do
man.
that intro.
We were trying to kill time for Juge.
We were trying. I don't know. I hope Juge is all right. He probably passed out of some bowling alley and show. Yeah, it's time for the world famous Saints Happy Hour bracket. Thomas, hit that intro. So this year's bracket, Saints one-hit wonders. And Thomas has informed me, for people watching the live stream, that instead of having a right side, left side of the bracket, we're going to have a top and a bottom of the bracket, which led to many inappropriate jokes on the pre-show, which you should listen. You should become a patron and get access to the behind the scenes.
No, we're just going to make them now. Thomas is a bottom and Ralph is the top.
Am I?
So, thanks to the patrons for voting. We had the play-in bracket. We had the patrons vote to decide who would be the play-in. And Kevin, I'm not gonna lie, it was between Rob Ryan, Andre Royal, Joe Morgan, and the 1980 Saints. I wanted the 1980 Saints to win because I wanted to make the joke that they only won one game. What could be more one-hit wonder than the team that went 1-15?
You should have rigged it, man.
I should have. I know we don't. It's like we don't rig things on the Saints Happy Hour podcast. You know, we don't rig things. We're not. You know, we don't rigging elections is un-American, and it makes people very mad when they think things aren't on the up and up. Thomas,
unless we want you to drink something.
I want to go. I just want to say, is this? I wasn't here last week. This artwork here that we're seeing on the screen, this like
it's a cartoon. It's like a
comic.
A comic. Yeah.
I don't know.
That was the theme. That was the theme this year.
I know. I don't know if this was unveiled last week or if this is the first time unveiling it this week.
Last week.
Okay. Well, you did a very good job, Thomas. This looks great. This looks fun.
Hey, Aldi Marino says Ralph can't be a top with no hand strength. Wow.
Yeah, Ralph is definitely a bottom. He's already half subdued.
I'm drunk. People just take advantage. Aldi Marino says a power bottom. So Rob Ryan won the play-in. Kevin, do you have any thoughts on the play-in? Do you agree with the patrons? Because they voted 63%. Rob Ryan as the play-in.
No, I mean, I think I also voted for the 1980 Saints. I know I didn't vote for Rob Ryan, and I don't think I voted for Andre Royal. So you know, I didn't vote for Rob Ryan, but I guess it makes sense.
I 2013 was amazing. I remember Dave would tell us about, hey, people are seeing Rob Ryan around town. He's buying Ben and Jerry's. He's at Miss May's. Like, it was fun. Like 2013, it ended badly for Rob Ryan, but 2013 was amazing. Like, don't pretend otherwise. I know it's like a decade ago, but let's not pretend.
No, but I think because it's been a decade, I think he's probably on good terms with the city.
Yeah.
Like
if he came back, if I saw him out, I'd dap him up.
Yeah. So Thomas, let's get started. What's the first matchup?
All right.
Remember Thomas
versus Rob Ryan.
Remember Thomas.
So here we go. So here we go. This is angering people in the chat, Kevin. And we said this on our preview podcast of the bracket.
This is way too easy.
You said it on the I think you said it on the preview podcast when we previewed the bracket. Like Steve Gleason might upset people as a one-hit wonder because they don't think of him that way. But I mean, as far as like football for the Saints, like when you think of Steve Gleason, you think of 2006, the punt block, Monday night.
Right.
And yes, you think of his incredible work afterwards, being a tremendous for ALS, just being a tremendous human being, doing amazing things in spite of that disease. But that's not football. Like when you think of him as a Saint, like 2006 is immediately what you think of. So I put him as the number 1 seed.
Right. Like I get it. I'm not weird. Like I get it. So and like we're seeing it on the thing, you know, we see the block, everybody in there going bananas and ape shit. There's Curtis DeLoach there about to dive on it. I'm waiting for nope, yeah, he does cross. Actually, you know what? I'm interested to see I'd love to see a conspiracy theorist try and say that Curtis DeLoach's knee hit the ground.
Well, it doesn't matter. Nobody touched
who's that?
Right?
She's cute.
Yeah, is she single? Well, it's from 2016.
Is she a doctor? Is she a nurse?
Is she a nurse? Anyway, Ralph, all the points you made definitely qualify Steve Gleason. We're talking about the Saints. We're talking about football. You know, he made the one play. Obviously, you could be a legend. He's so much more than that, but
he's so much more than that. But like the football, it made him a legend. Like it all came together. It's the perfect thing. Every time I see it, I still get chills. It's amazing. But the thing is, I feel like for Steve Gleason, and I think me and you, Kevin, me and you might have had like a text chain about this or whatever. I felt like Steve Gleason, if you put him in the bracket, he's got to be the number 1 seed. Like you can't put him in and have him like an 8 seed. Either he's a number 1 seed in the one-hit wonder bracket, or he doesn't qualify at all.
Who are the other 1 seeds? Because like I feel like Steve's going to get like all this.
16, Dave.
It's 1 through 16. We didn't have a 64 team bracket. You know, we're not.
Well, but is there not another side?
Yeah, but it's all 1 through 16. So it's like the 1 is the top seed here. The 2 is the top seed on the other one.
I mean,
are you saying there's tops and bottoms?
There's tops and bottoms.
I'm saying it's 1 through 16.
Who are the other high seeds for crying out?
Well, I mean, you got 2.
You see, come on, man.
You got 2.
No, but my point is like, who is going to lose to Steve Gleason? Like, he's going to have him. Yeah, he's got. This is like.
Hey, Tiger Jet in the chat says no way Steve Gleason should be even in this bracket.
This is like, you know, Steve Gleason is like the Schindler's List at the Oscars. Like you're not gonna you can't vote against. You can't vote. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
We should have put him out.
That's like your opinion, man. Come on.
No, it's not. It's almost fact. I mean, it's my opinion, but it's also almost fact.
That's it. That was the conundrum, Dave. That was the conundrum with putting Steve Gleason in, because once you put him in, he's like the 72 Dolphins, untouchable. He's like minus 800 in Vegas to win. You know, so it's tough.
I still think it's coming down to him and Brian Milne.
Yeah, of course he's in there. I'm going to say this. I'm gonna vote for Rob Ryan here.
Why is it Brian Milne and not Azahim or
Az Hakim? Because Az Hakim doesn't play for the Saints.
No. Who? Oh, I guess nobody blocked it. He just fumbled it.
He just fell on it. Right. I'm voting Rob Ryan here. Because I think the committee made a mistake. The chat has convinced me. Like I think putting Gleason in was a mistake.
You're the committee.
I was the committee. Not because he is a one-hit wonder as far as football. I 100% agree with that. But it's an unfair fight with Gleason versus anyone. It's just an unfair fight, and I gotta vote.
So essentially, you're trying to pull a Steven Seagal in the beginning of Executive Decision, and you're writing out Steven Seagal here
So that way we can focus on Kurt Russell.
That's right. I watched so many clips the other week of Steven Seagal, Lawman. I'm embarrassed for myself. I felt shame.
I'm embarrassed for you.
But
The con man, Steven Seagal.
Thomas, where did you get that? Did you make that, Thomas? That
No, that's from Google. That's from Google.
Google. It's a meme. It says, "How did you get fired on your day off?" It's from Friday. It's Chris Tucker, and it's Rob Ryan's face. I'm voting Rob Ryan because Rob Ryan. People may say derogatory things about him now because it went off the rails in 2014 and it went off the rails in 2015. And by the way, Rob Ryan being terrible after 2013 kind of gave us Dennis Allen, if you think about it. So you can hate Rob Ryan not only for being a one-hit wonder, but he kind of gave us Dennis Allen. If he would have been good, maybe Dennis Allen never happened, and he's not the coach of the Saints.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that as a positive?
I'm saying that as a negative for Rob Ryan, but I'm still voting for him. I'm still voting for him because Dave, I have nostalgia. 2013, when the defense was awesome from week 1, by the way, where it was they intercepted Matt Ryan in the end zone to win the game against 2013 was so freaking fun with Rob Ryan. Like, people were sending us people on Twitter, they were sending me pictures of him around town. He was a freaking celebrity. He was a star. It was fun. And it was the essence of this whole bracket. Rob Ryan. I vote Rob Ryan.
What year was Rob Ryan's first year?
2013. Right. First year.
Well, look, I have a lot of nostalgia.
And he led the Irish Day Parade in 2014 as Nola Fredo. Right. So why him and Thomas Morstead, I believe, led the Irish Channel Parade. I vote Rob Ryan. Dave, what say you?
I have a lot of nostalgia too. I have a lot of nostalgia from 2013, and I don't remember if it was a preseason game or the first game of the season, but I will never forget. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. And somewhere, somebody else saw this, and they're going to back me up one time, and they're going to come forward and tell me. But Rob Ryan running out of the tunnel onto the sidelines before the game, and just totally eats it. And just falls.
Hey, people in the chat vote Rob Ryan. Come on.
Falls face first. And he's so big still. It's kind of like the Penguin in Batman. It's kind of like Danny DeVito in the Penguin suit falling, just tumbling forward. And he just kind of bounced right up. And look, and despite all of the good feelings I have from that memory, nothing will ever top the goddamn memory of Steve Gleason blocking the fucking punt against the Falcons in 2006 when the fucking Superdome opened. You fucking idiot! Fucking move the fuck on. Gleason is moving on. This is over. Holy shit, I can't believe we're arguing this.
Kevin?
But is he a one-hit wonder, though? That's the question, man. Come on.
Is he like people want him to lose because they feel it's disrespectful that I made him a one-hit wonder? Thomas, I told you I was right to change that graphic. Good thing we didn't put the graphic with a one-hit wonder bracket. Good thing we changed it from Steve Gleason. People would have canceled us all on Twitter. It's a good move. It's a great decision by me. The cripple one, I win that one.
Avoiding the disaster.
That's right. Avoid walking through the raindrops. Kevin, who do you vote
Kevin, it's
for?
up to you. Come on, vote Rob Ryan. Come on, man.
Listen, I am going to pick the former pick of the Birmingham Thunderbolts of the 2001 XFL draft. I am going to choose the former member of the Indianapolis Colts, the former and current forever Saint, the god of this shit. I'm choosing Steve Gleason.
Yeah, come on, man.
I feel like
you guys can all be mad at me. Fine, whatever.
Be mad at the committee.
Nobody's mad. Nobody's
mad.
Ralph's mad.
It's all Juge's fault for not coming.
Yeah. Well, where is Juge?
Blame Juge. Juge would have voted for Gleason.
Juge might have sided with me to get Gleason taken. Well, is it more disrespectful to have Gleason in the bracket, or is it more disrespectful to vote him out of the bracket and have him lose to Rob Ryan because you don't think he should be in the bracket to start? What's more disrespectful?
The opposite.
The opposite. Now it's like to say he's going to steamroll this. He's going to march. He's going to march through this bracket like shit through a goose, man. But anyway, so that's it. Thomas announced the winner.
I was going to say Sherman threw it.
The winner is
Man,
Steve Gleason.
Yeah, I love the graph. Thomas always ups his game on the graphics. The graphics for the bracket are freaking amazing. And it's why you should support the show. Become a patron. Allows us to pay Thomas finest meats and cheeses in Poland. And Thomas, next month we're not going to pay we're not going to pay you in meats and cheeses or whatever denomination money in Poland. We're going to get you the best of the Polish version of America's Got Talent. We get you the full DVD collection. That's going to be your payment for next month.
That's like
the Super Show.
That's like a punishment, not a payment. To watch this shit.
Aldi Mourinho says on VHS. Do they have VHS in Poland?
Of course.
Betamax incoming. Says
Why wouldn't we?
All right. So Thomas, what's next?
All right. Next matchup.
Chris Reis versus Charlie Clemons.
See, this guys is a strong matchup because I'm gonna start with Chris Reis. I feel like Chris Reis of the one-hit wonders, Super Bowl heroes, Saints playoff legends. I feel like Chris Reis kind of gets lost. When we talk about the Super Bowl and the playoffs, we talk about Drew Brees, we talk about Pierre Thomas, we talk about Morstead. But when you talk about ambush, the dude at the bottom of the pile, Kevin, was Chris Reis. And I don't even want to think about the foul things they were doing to that man at the bottom of that pile in a Super Bowl to try to get that ball.
I bet he could tell you.
I mean, so I'm just saying, he's forgotten. So, you talk about a one-hit wonder and a legend. Chris Reis deserves to be in this bracket. But number 9, Charlie Clemons. Me and Kevin was in the preview podcast. You were stunned, Kevin, when I told you in 2001, Charlie Clemons had 13 and a half sacks for the Saints.
Right. And I proceeded to go look at the Pro Bowl roster, and I was just like,
how did he not make the Pro Bowl?
How did he not make it? And he ran into an all-time murder, a murderer's row of guys that you could just say it's defensible that he was kept out, which is still insane. The funny thing about Chris Reis is that he wasn't even the guy credited with the fumble recovery. It was Jonathan Casillas.
Yeah.
But everybody on the team says it was Chris Reis. And so it's like.
And here's the thing about Charlie Clemons. Here's the thing about Charlie Clemons, Dave. He had 13 and a half sacks in 2001. The rest of his career, he had 6.5 sacks. So he's the true definition of a one-hit wonder. 13 and a half sacks in 2001. He was out of the league by 2000.
Oh, wait, is it Juge?
That might be Juge coming.
Oh, shit.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, Juge.
Hey, when are we starting the podcast?
Maybe we can go back.
Funny.
An hour and 10 ago.
I don't really know much about Charlie Clemons. He was slightly before, right at the start of my time. I didn't know that about.
He had 16 sacks in a season.
Yeah, no, that's why he's on this list. Kevin walked away, but I didn't realize that Casillas was. I had no idea that Jonathan Casillas was credited with recovering that ambush. I always thought for sure. No, I always thought for sure it was Chris Reis. Everybody said it was Chris Reis.
See, go Chris Reis. I think with this.
Go ahead.
I'll vote first again. Here's the thing. I understand Chris Reis. Ambush, recovering onside kick. A seminal moment in Saints history. Probably one of the main reasons they have a banner, that they won a Super Bowl. I get all that. But just for the pureness, the essence of this tournament, again, Charlie Clemons, I think, is up there. 13 and a half sacks, 2001, 6.5 sacks, the rest of his career. And by the way, the 2001 Saints defense sucked. And yet he had 13 and a half sacks, 75 solo tackles.
It was inexplicable. His season, he was never good after or before.
Drugs.
And he was like lightning in a bottle for a year. It was really weird. Yeah. I mean, it probably was some sort of performance enhancing thing.
I mean, 13 and a half sacks. I think that's more sacks than Junior
Galette. No one sue.
I just said, like, that's more sacks than Junior Galette ever had.
Do you know what we would give for anyone on the roster to have just like 11 sacks this year?
Do drugs.
I would crime. If you told me I needed to crime.
DeMario Davis has never had that many sacks.
No.
I would crime.
If you told me I needed to crime to get the Saints a 13 and a half sack defensive end, I would crime. I'd be like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do to make it happen? So
have you seen Your Honor?
I have not. People tell me it's amazing.
It is so good.
I'm voting Charlie Clemons, man. That's what
I'm just gonna say this. It's pretty much without comment, but just going back to the Steve Gleason thing. Chris Reis at the time was kind of like the Steve Gleason heir apparent. Like he was the next long-haired safety who came up with the big special teams play after Steve Gleason. I feel like that's
he looks like one of Juge's frat brothers. And I picture Chris Reis right there. He really does.
The Pike.
Anyway, I'm going with a Pike. I don't know. I wasn't around for Charlie. I'm going with Chris Reis.
I'm going with Clemons, and I will say this: Reis is kind of like sad Benny Thompson or sad.
Oh my God,
Steve Gleason. He's like the special teams guy that wasn't as good as the special teams guys. Justin Hardy, JT Gray. Like I feel like Reis was kind of weaker than all those guys.
Dollar store.
He's like dollar store Gleason.
That's why you're supposed to love him, because he made the play he was supposed to make.
He didn't even make the play. He didn't recover.
You don't know that.
No. The team says that it was him.
Yeah.
The team says that it was in fact him.
The box score says it's
we clearly know that referees can incorrectly rule something.
No. Kevin, they're always right.
Butteridge says his mom liked Chris Reis. So Kevin, who do you vote for?
Wait, Butteridge's mom liked Chris Reis, or Chris Reis's mom liked Chris Reis?
Both. Yes.
Yeah, I'm voting Charlie Clemons. Again, that one season is utterly ridiculous. It's just.
Can you recap what happened before I got here?
Yeah, Gleason.
We voted Steve Gleason over Rob Ryan 2-1. Ralph suddenly had second thoughts because people in the chat were browbeating him for how dare you put Steve Gleason in this tournament. And it's like, look, everybody know. Look, we all love Steve Gleason.
Chad wanted Rob Ryan to win
for his post-football career, and he'll always be loved. He'd be loved just on the play by itself, but everything he's gone through and overcome, it just makes him more beloved. But again, this is about what you did on the football field you're encapsulated in that
box, in a vacuum.
Yeah, like if
so that was it, just Gleason and Rob Ryan.
Yeah,
that's right.
Just one matchup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I kind of protest Gleason being in this tournament also.
What? This is crazy.
He can't.
He's not a one-hit wonder.
Hang on a second.
You guys hate. You guys.
Maybe we need to go back.
This is crazy.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Is Juge quote unquote doing the right thing and refusing to certify the vote now? Is that what's happening?
How are you spelling thing? Are you spelling thing with an I or an A?
Steve Gleason could be out of this tournament if Juge had the courage.
The anti-ALS slander on this podcast is disappointing from Juge and Malbrow.
I'm just saying.
From Juge and Malbrow.
Wow.
No, I mean, so
I showed up late. I don't get a vote.
No, so
maybe we go back.
It's not lost.
There's no going back.
We can't go
So
back.
Gleason's fucked next week.
Maybe.
If Juge shows up, that is.
I mean, if he was going against Chris Reis, he'd have it in the bag.
Well, he might be.
So Thomas,
because this is a top.
3-1.
This is a top to bottom.
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing you missed, Juge.
Yeah, are you a top or a bottom, Juge?
Instead of left and right side of the bracket, we have top and bottom.
Are you a top or a bottom, Juge?
Can I announce the winner?
Are you guys familiar with the show The League?
We are.
Yeah.
Pete Top, Kevin Bottom has got to be one of the greatest fantasy football team names of all time.
Right. Which one are you?
All right, give us the winner, Thomas.
The winner is Charlie Clemons.
All right. So we're halfway through the matchups today. Thomas, what's next?
Oh damn! Already.
I gotta get. Well, I just want to say, Juge, where were you before Thomas gets to the next one? Where were you? Like you were like even by your standards, you were late.
Yeah, I know. It's
1 hour late. New record,
it's
man.
Summer. I got kids stuff going on. Camps. We got a house guest tonight. I mean, it's just I'm getting pulled in 100 different directions.
Your dad.
Who's your house guest?
A tennis player that's on a training block that just needs somewhere to stay this week. Not Pete Sampras, no.
Are they from do they speak English?
Yeah, she's American. No, she's professional American tennis player.
Oh, she
Coco Go.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Where is she sleeping?
She's from New York, actually.
Serena Williams.
Oh, what part of New York is she from?
West Hampton.
Oh, she's from the Hamptons.
Yeah.
Oh, very bougie.
Tell her to be careful. They got a bunch of drunk assholes out on the roads.
I have a friend who has a house in Hampton Bays, which is close to West Hampton.
Wow. Isn't that where they killed a bunch of people? The dude killed a bunch of people and buried them in the beach.
Is that like Gilgo Beach? You think of Gilgo?
Thomas, what Thomas?
I stayed at a Hampton Inn once.
Thomas,
by the way, I'm drinking this beer right here. It's a Star Hill American Virginia Peaches wheat ale. It is absolutely terrible.
What is your female tennis slaves at your house drinking?
I just want to make a public service announcement to anybody in the Houston area. Do not say anything mean to my wife tomorrow if she's checking out or she's in public. The Astros got shut out by the White Sox, and the expletives she just spewed.
Oh shit!
Melted
by the White Sox.
By the White Sox, the White Sox are like a double-A team. They're like 18-53, I think.
They're like chasing the worst team in history.
Yeah, and they just shut out the Astros. So Thomas, what's next?
All right.
John Gilliam versus Robert Meachem.
Oh, this is a strong.
I'm sure John Gilliam appreciates that you found a recent photo of him.
Yeah. Like. I mean
it was either this or the shitty photos from the past, you know.
Wasn't it Gilliam? Wasn't it pronounced John Gilliam?
I don't know.
Gilliam. No, it's Gilliam.
It's Gilliam. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Why is Robert Meachem? Okay, this is great.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm asking Ralph how to pronounce it correctly.
Wait a minute. Why is Robert Meachem on this list? Like, this is not like.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Dave. This is an outrage. The Meach around alone allows him out of this tournament.
No, but that's what he's here
that's
for.
It?
No,
that's it.
No. If he had multiple seasons with like 700 yards.
No,
exactly.
If you ask 100 Saints fans, Robert Meachem, they say Meach around. That's it. That's it. That's all they know of him.
He had one season where he went over 700 yards receiving. It was the 2009 season when the Meach around game occurred.
I mean,
really?
That's it.
Meachem, I mean, look, from 2009 and 2011, he was at 722, 638, 620, 9 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. Like, he was a productive receiver. He was a guy that, he wasn't like 1,000 yards. He wasn't worthy of the first round pick that they drafted him in. Like, I would say he didn't live up to the hype. I would say that he should have been a better player in the league, but like based on where he was drafted.
Can you name one?
He's not a one-hit wonder.
Name one other Robert Meachem moment. Give me one, Andrew. One. A game, a play, something.
Didn't he in that same game? Didn't he win the game with a touchdown reception on a deep ball?
He got it to overtime.
Okay. In the same game. So he literally made another huge play in the same game as the Meachem round.
Those happen all the time, though.
Yeah.
Oh, like Hail Mary.
Look. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, hang on. I gotta get this point in. Because from the way Juge is describing it, Ralph, I think Juge wants to have a most underachieving Saints bracket next season, and he's nominating Robert Meachem.
Absolutely, but like he had 26 touchdowns in his career. Like the dude found the end zone a lot.
Yeah,
with the Saints.
I'm with Andrew. Even if you want to consider Robert Meachem for this, strictly on the Meachem round, which is a great play. Loved it. That was incredible. I will never forget that. John Gilliam still, based on a 1-to-1 comparison of their individual, the one plays, John Gilliam, he was the first play ever, ran it back for the Saints, 1967, ran it back, Tulane Stadium. Like you can't, even if we threw away Andrew's argument that Robert Meachem shouldn't be considered a one-hit wonder, which I agree with. Even if you consider Robert Meachem a one-hit wonder, John Gilliam still beats him hands down.
He literally never ran back another kickoff for the Saints. That was it.
Yeah,
that was the one time he had a kickoff for a touchdown. He only played 2 years with the Saints. Yeah, and like he caught 20 balls each season. And
then he went to Minnesota and went to multiple Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I will say like Gilliam's stats with St. Louis and with Minnesota both. Like the guy was a star.
But that's par for the course for the 70 Saints.
Yeah, they maybe should have hung on to that guy.
I mean, it's Gilliam for me. Like he should win. He might be able to win the whole thing if you like pure one-hit wonderness. But I stand by Meachem being in the bracket because if you ask 100 Saints fans, Robert Meachem, they say the Meachem round. Like that's it. So I vote Gilliam. But I still say Meachem.
I honestly don't think Meachem's career with the Saints is that different from Devery Henderson's. Like they have had oddly similar careers with the Saints.
Yeah, except one did the Meachem round and one didn't.
I'm just saying. So let's see. So
who do you vote for, Dave?
Dave come on, man. Is voting for Gilliam. He already said.
Yeah.
Right. Dave's cheating.
So Kevin, look, what are you looking up? This bracket's getting contentious. I like this. This is a good choice by us for a bracket.
Actually, I would. Devery actually had a much better career than Robert Meachem. I don't even think the two are comparable.
Yeah, Jude, you're like weirdly nostalgic for Robert Meachem. You're like
Meachem had 9 touchdowns one year. Devery's best season, he had 5.
No, he also had 9 in the 2009.
All right, I'm back. I was away, but
never mind.
He didn't.
I was accidentally looking at Meachem on that one. Sorry.
Oh God, he's looking at Meachem.
Unbelievable.
Waving it off.
Andrew is not being like this is like I am the same as. Is this like the Berenstain Bears thing? Like, I swear, like Meachem was a very productive member of this fucking team for multiple seasons.
Yes.
Like, this is crazy.
And then I said that like him and Devery Henderson had very similar careers with the Saints.
Am I living in?
And Ralph and Kevin are like, no, Devery Henderson was way better.
I know. No, what do you? I mean, like maybe Devery, like. Yeah, maybe
Devery was like a little better.
Yeah.
Thomas, we're going to spend all of the June money, and we're going to conduct a poll.
All right, move Gilliam along in this bracket.
Yeah, I'm voting Gilliam.
Okay. All right, so it's a clean sweep. Thomas announced the winner.
The winner is John Gilliam.
Meachem in this tournament is an outrage. That's even worse than Gleason.
Wow.
I love that when you both said they're him and Henderson are both the same, except Meach around.
Except for the Meach around. That's right. Just saying. Thomas, we did a great job devising this bracket. Juge has only been here for 5 minutes. His blood is already boiling. It's
time to go.
Also, if Meachem was going to be in the tournament, wouldn't he be the top seed since he's better than all these guys?
I don't know.
No, but you can make a case that he should be the number 1 seed because all people remember from him is the Meach around. But I mean, we didn't put Turley. We didn't put Turley in because of the helmet.
Turley should have been.
He should have been in.
Well, we should have put Davenport. We forgot about Davenport.
You should have sat in on the committee meetings.
You could have put
one season. He had one good season.
He got kicked out of.
One good season. Juge.
Yeah, Olin Kreutz needs to be in this.
We could have put we could have put.
What about Des Bryant? One
Charles
day wonder.
You could have put Dan Morgan in here twice.
We could have put just to have Sean Payton say, "I saw enough. I'd seen enough." For Charles Brown.
You could have put that kid from Oklahoma State who could do backflips.
Oh,
we need Shane Graham in this tournament.
We'll get there.
Well, come on.
He introduced us introduced the podcast.
That's right.
14th seed.
What's next,
week?
Thomas? Next matchup, Thomas.
All right, final matchup.
Ryan Milne versus Keith Mitchell.
Oof.
I thought that picture of Keith Mitchell was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Keith Mitchell is kind of like a Charlie Clemons candidate in the sense that he had one insanely good season.
That's right.
And he made the Pro Bowl that year. But like, I would just say that Keith Mitchell was a good linebacker, even besides the year that he made the Pro Bowl, where he kind of went nuts. Like, I would say he's closer to he's closer to Meachem in the sense that, like, I would say he had 2 or 3 good seasons and one great one. Milne is like 100% he recovered Hakeem's fumble. Like, it's one play. So I'm leaning Brian
Kevin's
Milne.
hero. Brian Milne.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of the Thomas. I'm just thinking of the bottom of the bracket. Juge is going to be just outraged. He might be so outraged. He might reach the bottom. He might reach through the internet and break my good arm.
Check this out, Kevin. Kevin's screaming right now.
Hakeem drops the ball. I mean,
is it Milne or Milne?
It's Milne. Okay.
You don't say it the same as Milne Boulevard. Lakeview.
Which is Ralph's.
Which is where I grew up. That's right.
That's where my grandfather's house was, Milne Boulevard.
Yeah. Milne, right by Mount Carmel. This one, two very strong candidates. So, Kevin, I'll let you go first.
Brother, it's Brian Milne. I mean, the guy, he played 5 years total in the NFL. The Saints were the last team he was on. He only started 2 games that season. He appeared in all of them, but
he was a special teams guy.
Yeah, he was a special teams guy. That was it. And this is what he's going to be known for. Like, this is the thing.
I mean, are we really surprised here that the guy who literally had a blog called Hakeem's Drop the Ball is picking Brian Milne?
Yeah.
I think your tagline was literally retelling the story of Brian Milne or something like that. Wasn't that your tagline?
It was something about like riding for Brian Milne or whatever.
Does it still exist?
I wonder if that still exists on Blogspot.
It might. That'd be amazing. Dave, who are you voting for?
I feel like Brian Milne was the precursor to Steve Gleason. He was like the amuse-bouche before we could get to Steve Gleason. But it was great. Obviously, it predates me, but I understand the historical significance led to them winning their first playoff game. So I got to go with that.
I mean, the thing I'll say, the difference I'll say between like Steve Gleason and Brian Milne, as far as just the football, is the Atlanta game. The vibe, it was the beginning of the game, but the vibes were good. We were all happy just that the Saints were back. The dome had this positive energy, and then Gleason took it to a whole other level, right, Andrew? Right before that, Brian Milne recovery, like the dome was about to like implode and like die. Like the Saints were crushing the Rams. It was like 28-10, and it was like, this is a party for 3.5 quarters, 3 quarters, and 10 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever. And the Rams were like rampaging back. The Saints had lost like 3 people in the secondary due to injuries, and it was like the Rams are going to get this ball, march down the field, score, and win this game. And the Saints are going to not only lose another playoff game, so they'll be 0-5 in the playoffs, but they'll have allowed this like maybe the greatest fourth quarter comeback in playoff history. It was incredible what the Rams did, and like boom, boom, boom. And it was just like, oh my God.
And based on the Saints playoff history, I mean, we were completely
panic.
Yeah,
panic
we were
station.
like, we were like, this is happening. We're blowing this game somehow, and it's going to be horrific because this is what the Saints do. And then Brian Milne makes that play, and really, like, I will say this: it was less about Brian Milne and more about Hakeem. Oz Hakeem dropping that ball.
You did that all the time, by the way.
And for the record, the Saints did Oz Hakeem a solid, and they later gave him a contract for dropping that ball, which was the right thing to do.
Right.
But
so when you say Saints legend Oz Hakeem, it's true.
It's true. But you know,
well, then he should be on this list. Then he should be.
Oz Hakeem should be. I agree. But I'm going with Milne. I'm sticking with Milne. We know Kevin is. We know he's biased.
Biased.
In 2005, Oz Hakeem for the Saints, 34 catches, 489 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
20.
Oh.
Brian Milne too. It's
Frozen Ralph.
Thomas announced the results. Announced the winner.
Announced what?
Announced the winner, Thomas.
Roger that.
And the winner is Brian Milne.
I will say one thing for Keith Mitchell. My wife yelled at me the other day because somebody asked us our anniversary. They said, "When's your anniversary?" I gave them the wrong date. But when Thomas was like, "I can't find any Keith Mitchell video," I was like, "Arizona, 2000, third quarter, he picks off a pass touchdown."
That sounds like
6, yeah.
Right. Nailed it. Right in the memory bank.
In the memory bank forever.
Locked in.
But I give Butteridge credit too. Butteridge, he let me know that like every like prime time highlight from Chris Berman and Tom Jackson is like cut up and on YouTube somewhere. That you can just pull it. So
yes.
So
By the way, I am going next week. End of next week, I am going to Key West. If any of you guys have recommendations, or any of our listeners have recommendations, I am willing to listen to them.
Hemingway's house,
of course, obviously,
and they have a cat that has trained cats.
Matt Ryan.
Write in vote for our very own Dave as a one-hit wonder in this bracket for his prediction of Kai replacing Loomis and Loomis wildly chewing gum and saying it was made up.
That was very long. We should
28.3. The new
limit how long wow. I'm gonna go to the Hemingway house. I don't need to go see a woman that trains cats. That doesn't really seem like something I'm interested in.
Tricks. I mean, it's good. She's got like 50 of them. They do like tricks. They They don't have diabetes. It's amazing.
Well, then I don't care because I only like cats that have diabetes.
Oh yeah. So Thomas, give us a donation update before we get to questions.
Boy Allen, freshly the new MVP leader. Right behind him is Budrich, and we are less than $50 away from the.
I'll drink it.
I'll drink the second drink.
PB&J whiskey. I'll drink it. and it'll go great with the Ghost Pepper Blanco.
Did you already have the first drink?
I did.
Yeah.
What was it?
Weeks in a row. It was disgusting. It was Ghost Blanco.
It was called
spicy.
disgusting.
It was disgusting.
Are we still going here? Should I get a drink or
yeah, we are. We got questions.
We got questions.
Hit the finger guns, Thomas. We got questions to do.
This has the potential of being the longest show of all time, by the way.
Wow. Jesus. By the way, the live show is coming together. It's going to be at Sports Drink again. Hopefully, we're getting stuff together.
Kind of.
We're getting stuff together. And by the way, all the people that made promises, commitments to getting Thomas in via horse-drawn carriage and smuggling him in from Poland, get in my DMs. We got to get
one person. It was one person.
We got to get that settled. Or we got to just leave Thomas in Poland forever. So, but
he's willing to fly. He's willing to fly.
Thomas, what's first up?
All right. First question.
Let's hurry up so that we're done by the time Andrew gets back.
That's right.
First question from Saints Rabbit. He asks, if you could replace travel penalty with an inanimate object on the field, what object would you choose?
Ooh, this is a great question.
Turnstile. Final answer.
No, you want it to work. You don't need it to be easy. You need it to be. You don't want it to be accurate. You want it to be good so it can help the Saints.
Cactus. A chainsaw.
A saguaro cactus.
Yeah, a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you went landmined, and the other team and the other team knew that it was a landmine and it was the left tackle, do you think that could help with the protection? Because they know if they as long as they avoid it, they'll be fine. But if they step on it, they die.
Yeah, but if they step on it, the shrapnel's probably going to hit some of our other offensive linemen.
Well, I mean,
maybe with something
how about
stinky.
multiple landmines, wall of landmines.
High risk, high reward, Kevin. I'm trying to help the offensive line. They need all the help they can get.
No. You want to design the Maginot line thinking that's going to be just fine to work as an offensive line. And clearly history has shown us the Maginot line does not work.
I'm not going to lie, Dave. Venezuelan rum, overrated.
Diplomatic.
Andrew, if you could replace Trevor Penning with an inanimate object, what would you do? Trevor Penalty. What would you do if you replace him with an inanimate object?
Traffic cone.
See, but that doesn't. I would say you're thinking like accuracy of his talent. I'm thinking you want to improve upon. Like if you want.
Oh no, I was thinking improvement.
Oh, you think a traffic cone would be an improvement?
A traffic cone doesn't jump off sides and it doesn't hold.
See, I said a cactus.
Cactus would be good.
Ooh, I like that better. Yeah, a cactus would be more effective at blocking for sure.
Something stinky, guys. Something stinky.
I think.
What about a copperhead?
An open barrel of oil.
Casket. So an open casket funeral.
So they knock over the oil drum. There's oil everywhere. People start slipping. But again, it could be Saints offensive people slipping too. I like that question. Thanks, Saints Rabbit. That was a good question. Thomas, what's next?
Okay, next question.
What about a Game of Thrones episode where it's just so gruesome you look away? What about
a Bridgerton episode?
Oh, what about like
Can we get a Bridgerton question?
Like a giant poster of a Playmate, like Miss January 1987, and it's like life size.
No. See, I think there are football players that are really into Bridgerton. So maybe what you do is you have a substitute teacher, wheel in the DVD player, like with the TV that's like strapped down on the contraption. You have her wheel it out to the left tackle spot, and she starts playing an episode of Bridgerton, and suddenly they're all riveted by the goings on the TV, and then boom, they're not running after Derek Carr, they're not chasing after Alvin Kamara. There you go.
I agree.
Are you guys familiar with LARP? You guys know what that is? LARPing?
Yeah, LARPing.
Yes.
Live action role playing. You familiar?
Yeah.
My cousin's really into this. We like tool on him unmercifully for this. I'm sure he'd really appreciate that I'm bringing this up. But like he'll go to like he's a grown adult and he does this. He'll go to
I'm
like
still not sure I follow.
He's a grown adult that will go like for a weekend of his time. Like he's married with kids, and he will go for fun, dress up as a wizard in the woods and like cast spells on his buddies. Like that's like his idea of a good time. And like I said, we tease him unmercifully for this, but to his credit, like he owns it. He's like, yeah, I like doing it. What do you want from me? So like, Yeah. I think they say things like sleep, death. Like they've got like the magic wand, and they anyway. I think there's
careful. We don't want to.
Oh my god.
We don't.
Anyway, I just overdosed on nerd. Like I'm dead. Like
it's as nerdy as it gets. But I would want a LARPing wizard as my right tackle over Trevor Penalty, and maybe the spells, the hit points would work. That's where I was going with that.
What about a knight? Maybe a knight.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Dave, it occurred to me that all these nerds that do that, like they do their whole thing in the woods, and then when they're done and they go home like to base, it dawned on me that there might be like some weird fetish things going on that I never want to know about.
That's like Civil War reenactments, but like the next,
but worse,
like 1,000 times worse.
I don't know, man. I live in Virginia. I've been to Williamsburg for those Civil War reenactments, and they're pretty bad too, bro.
Wow.
Boy, listen.
Now, when I say I've been there, like I've been to Colonial Williamsburg. I have not participated. Let's be clear here.
I mean,
no, I don't think Colonial Williamsburg has any like conservative. I think it's strictly.
Your Honor, he LARPs as a wizard on the weekends.
My seriously, dressing up as another character. Dressing up as another character is lowest common denominator type
we've
nonsense.
offended Kevin and his friends.
Kevin, you do it all the time.
Yeah,
with your
skateboard, lowest common denominator stuff, and
wrestling.
Stand for it.
Kevin's laughing while wrestling.
Listen to me. Oh, wow. You will not be telling me that. I mean, dressing up as a bloody wizard, it's utter bollocks, I tells you. I can't understand why a grown man would go and hang out with his friends and go and do something silly like traipse into the woods. I don't even know what. I mean, you can't even go back and have a pint and just talk with your pals there. No, we gotta go oogly boogly boogly and wave a big stick at somebody and say poof and hope that they know that they're supposed to be hit. Or go waving a shield and a sword. I don't understand. Right, you go watch Game of Thrones for that. You go watch Game of Thrones.
Alde Marino accuses me of participating. He says I go in full wizard costume.
Andrew would never.
You will never see me dead in a wizard costume, first of all. Secondly,
Kevin's laughing as Pete Sampras.
I gotta say this to Nola Fredo. He says, Juge, we are the grown adults that take time off to play fantasy football. Like we're wannabe football coaches. Like touche, fair point. Like I actually think that would be my cousin's to retort to when I tool on him. He'd be like, "Don't you play the nerdy football game where you pick players and then you get points when they score touchdowns?" And he would try to make some false equivalence there between him dressing up as a wizard in the woods. Anyway, I love my cousin dearly. We're close.
But fantasy football is just gambling. Can he win money when he dresses up as Harry Potter on the weekends?
I don't think so.
Depends on the spell. Depends on which spell he casts.
He does it for enjoyment. I mean, look, maybe he needs to do something a little more respectable and talk to his pals on a weeknight via video chat. About certain things that they collect.
I'm tempted.
And perhaps they could live stream it on a service where the people watching them could throw them a couple of gold coins.
I might need to ask
something reasonable and mature. None of this sophomoric stuff.
I need to ask Sally.
And cards and bones with little notches carved in it. None of that nonsense. Her shite.
I need to ask Sally if dressing up as a wizard on the weekends is the most white thing she's ever heard of. Is dressing up as a wizard.
I feel
dressing up as a wizard on the weekend the most white thing you've ever heard
of. What kind of?
She says that's Renaissance.
First of all, what kind of wizard are we talking about, Ralph? That would
white or black or red.
That would.
She says that's Renaissance fair trash. Is what she said. Her exact words.
God, if you want to.
I mean, look,
Washington Wizard.
I feel less. I feel less terrible about how much I play tennis when I think about that. So
wow.
What about pickleball? Which is
pickleball is probably worse than LARPing, honestly.
Andrew, if you saw a wizard playing pickleball, would you murder them?
A wizard playing pickleball, I think, would be me entering hell. I think that's actually what hell would look like for me. It's like, welcome to our pickleball tournament. Enter, and you have to put on this cloak, before you compete.
Thomas,
I think that's when I would know I was dead, and I had descended
quick question
into
from the chat. Quick question from the chat. Your boy Alan asks, how many bits to have you all dressed as wizards?
I think you'd have to. I think you'd literally have to pay me $500 to dress as a wizard.
It's not that much. You pay if you pay for the wizard suit. I'll wear it.
Bits for $1 billion.
Cajun Sense, where you at, man?
All right. Kevin has something to say to
next,
the kids.
Thomas?
And then my God,
Kevin's LARPing, you fucking LARPer, Kevin.
Fellow kids. Fellow wizards.
I mean, I gotta say, I was surprised when I brought up the term LARP. I was surprised how quickly all three of you were like, "Oh yeah."
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You guys knew exactly what I was talking
Suspicious.
about.
I thought LARPing had something to do with a straw and somebody's butthole. I didn't know.
Oh my God.
Dave, I'm not sure that it doesn't.
Yeah. I was surprised when
I told you my cousin was really into it.
Well, when Kevin explained and went through each letter of the acronym. That was
what's next, Thomas?
You thought it was BDSM, right?
Yeah. What's next, Thomas?
Again, I just thought it involved a straw and body parts and post-coital.
A straw and a butthole and a VCR.
Final question of the show from Aldi Marino. Vernon Davis cutting through the Saints in 2011, the Minnesota Miracle in 2017, or the NOLA No Call in 2018. Which of those Saints teams would you have had the best chance at winning it all if Lady Luck or Vinovich hadn't crapped the bed? Consider age and health of the team each of these years.
This is a good question. I mean, I would definitely put 2017 last. Minnesota Miracle. I would put that dead last.
I was about to say it's either between 2011 or 2018.
I think the Eagles. The Eagles would have beat the absolute piss out of the Saints the following week, in my opinion, based on the heater that they were on that year.
Oh, in 2017.
2017, I think the Eagles would have beat the piss out of the Saints. Well, and it was just they caught fire like at that stage.
And the Saints had no line.
Yeah, I maintain that in 2011 and in 2018, the Saints would have won the Super Bowl both of those years if they had won those games.
Fair.
But 28, gun to my head, I'm picking 2018 just because it was a game further. So the Saints would have hosted the Giants had they beaten the 49ers in 2011. And then they would have had to play the Patriots, who I think were 16-0 that year. Is that right, Ralph?
No. That was 2007 Patriots. The 2007 Patriots.
Okay, so it was that, but it was Eli beating the Patriots that year.
Yeah.
To me, the Patriots were much stronger. Tom Brady was much better. So like that would I think at home against the Giants, I believe we would have won that game and gone to the Super Bowl. But like beating Brady in the Super Bowl, like I don't like Eli did it, but like I don't know how that would have gone.
The thing is,
but like 2018, like the Brady was washed. The Patriots were terrible. And like basically the only reason they won that game is because Belichick pants Jared Goff and he didn't know what to do. And like he wouldn't have been able to do that to Drew. We 100% would have won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, and the thing is, the 2011 Saints, Greg Williams, the way he played defense, as proven against Vernon Davis, it could. So like, if they would have beat the 49ers, I think they would have beat Eli at home because that was when they were just like, Kevin, they were just like unbeatable at home from like 2011 to 2013 with Sean Payton. They were just like unbeat, right? So I don't know that, but like that Greg Williams.
This question deserves its own fucking episode.
Yeah,
like we can do an entire fucking episode on this one fucking question.
Yeah,
it's a great question, Aldemar.
Well, there's people in the chat that are talking about 2011 and saying like that might have been the Saints' best roster. I mean, it was the best offense for sure. That defense. Like Greg Williams was reckless and they were giving up. I don't know if you remember the safeties and the secondary, like the big plays that they were giving up. My God. And it wasn't just that 49ers game. It wasn't just that game. So like, I hear you guys like offensively Sproles and Jimmy Graham, like that offense was insane in 2011, but like, there's no telling what Eli Manning and Brady would have done to that defense, and we could have gotten in a shootout, and those games could have gone either way. The Saints would have had to win 2 games to win a Super Bowl, but in 2018, that call changes, and we're in the Super Bowl. So we're talking about one game.
And it's in Atlanta. It would have been like 80%.
The Saints, I am steadfast on this.
We all would have been there.
There is no way the Saints are losing that game. There's no way the Saints would have lost that game.
Kevin, I forgot about 2011. Megatron absolutely cooked the Saints the week before the San Francisco game. It just didn't matter because the Saints could scored at will, but Megatron cooked them in a way. I think it's the greatest single person performance I've ever seen. Like they were guarding
late
with
in
like
that game. They triple teamed him. They literally triple teamed him late in that game.
Thomas, you're right. What's the record for the longest show we've ever done? This is it going on an hour 53.
150, I think. This is 145. 146.
Wow.
Right now.
Thanks to everybody.
We've definitely done longer than that. There was a show where we were like, let's just keep going.
We gotta do another show after the.
Yeah, that's right. So Thomas, thank everybody who donated. Give us.
Damn,
I think he wants a recap.
What was your internet, Ralph?
Ralph's internet sucks. He wants a recap.
You're not hardwired, right?
This hasn't been
I am.
It hasn't been our finest.
Then
by the way, I appreciate that you have a Brian Milne fathead on your wall.
Beautiful.
Ralph.
Way to bring it
and
on.
Steve Gleason. 2 of them. All right. Thanks to everyone who donated. Amazing show. We are on a 46-week donation streak.
Wow.
Let's keep it that way. Thanks to Tiger Jet 21. Thanks to Aldi Marino, to Hudat Golfer, to Budrich, and to my surprise, for the first time this off-season, with 56.6 buckaroos, the MVP, who is...
Oh my gosh.
The one and only Brian! Thank you, Alan. You're this close to being able to sit in the chair with me.
Remember to send me what Ralph should put on his whiteboard next week.
That's right. You control the world. I don't know if my camera's working. I don't know what's going on. But Thomas, I promise you on my unborn children that I'm hardwired. So thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting Saints Happy Hour. Please go to saintshappyhour.com. Become a patron. You're going to get free stickers if you become an annual patron. It's amazing. You should do it. We can't do this without you guys. Thanks to Dave. Thanks to Kevin. Thanks to Andrew for showing up finally. Thank you, Andrew. And Thomas, the best producer on earth, running the show back in Poland. Guys, if you're going to support a Saints podcast, you ought to support the one where the guy is drunk and crippled and does the best he can. So until next time, the bar is closed.